This footage of Fred Williams's artwork was taken at the Ian Potter Museum of Art in Melbourne, where a substantial number of his paintings are currently held, including the Pilbara series. This footage, however, will only look at a few of Williams's artworks. Cricketer was painted by Williams during his final year in London in 1955. It was painted with oil on a composition board, and rather than creating a realistic portrait, Williams built up the pictorial form by applying thick blotches of coloured paint. His use of tonal colours gives the image solidity, and it is techniques such as these that remain a quality feature of Williams's work. His thoughts of colour were deep, and as a result provided him with an imaginative freedom. Echuca landscape was created in 1962 in Melbourne with oil and tempera on a composition board. This image depicts Williams's exploration of the forest as subject matter through the effect of a speckled consistency in the painting. Williams gives vibrancy to this picture by his use of distinguished earth colours, which appear to illuminate the forest floor, even though forests are generally viewed as dark places enclosed by the thickness of trees. Williams, however, allows the light in with his touch and sensitive brushstrokes. The golden brown landscape illustrates the dryness of the inland bush that Williams experienced in Echuca in the late 1950s. The texture of the painting portrays the real-life roughness of the bark and wood within the forest, appearing to be witnessed from close range. This painting, however, must not be viewed as a scene directly from the bush, but rather a landscape that was simply a vehicle of form. Fred Williams first visited the Pilbara with his family in May in 1979 and was excited and inspired by the unique qualities of this new landscape. He responded quickly to the motifs in nature, and by mid-June of the same year, Williams had produced almost 100 gouaches depicting the dramatic landscape of this remote area in Australia's far northwest. Williams painted both on-site and in his Melbourne studio, encompassing the striking features of the landscape in his work. Throughout the series, Williams tried to capture the landscape from all angles, implementing close-up and aerial views. Williams's first sight of the landscape was from an aerial view, and it is clear to see that his first impressions were embedded into his imagination whilst painting. His intention was to make people view the image as if they were both in and above the landscape simultaneously. Mount Nameless, both the morning and afternoon paintings, were created in 1981 using oil on canvas. These pictures, when compared, clearly show the change in the time of day through the clever alteration and tonality of colours. The afternoon painting of Mount Nameless varies from the morning painting as it contains a transparency due to the bright light of day. The uses of colours in these oil paintings illuminate the landscape, making the images come alive and giving a feeling of vibrancy. The colours are strategically placed against each other to offer a variety of experience and mood to its audience of what Williams was encountering in that moment of time in nature. Drifting Smoke is yet another painting created in 1981 with oil on canvas. This painting is a brilliant example of a picture that would give any viewer a feeling of being near yet far. Williams constructs this feeling by first drawing attention to the slightly curved horizon line and the drifting smoke off in the distance until your eyes slowly move toward the bottom of the frame and rest upon the up-close representation of the motifs in nature. Across the painting, a range of tonal colours are used to portray the heat and dryness of the Australian land. The overall image illustrates a slow-paced and almost lazy lifestyle. Red Landscape was painted in 1981 with a thin wash of oil paint, and Williams stated that only a cupful of paint was used in the entire picture. What is unique about Red Landscape is that almost the entire painting is covered in red. Because of this intimate image of the Australian outback, the painting is given a complete barrenness to its personality, but yet contains a density in its entirety. The image captures a wholeness of the land, which appears to contain a great substance to it. The image also seems to capture a distance that travels on forever through the outback. The basic division of the sky and the land by the horizon, and the little amount of markings on the stretch of red, allows the colour to reveal a strength about Williams's vision. There seems to be a pattern in Williams's images of landscapes, in that the redder the earth, the drier the land, and therefore the more barren and the less trees or foliage in nature. Fred Williams's distinct artwork operates as both symbolic and representational depictions of inland Australia. His paintings reveal a totality of experiences and aim to change the idea of the Australian outback as simply being remote to appreciating its direct contact of nature.